What's up everybody? Welcome back to the WrestleDude YouTube channel. Jacob as always. Make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video if you go on to enjoy, and if you haven't already, please subscribe because this channel is all about playing some video games, talking about pro wrestling, and where we meet in the middle, talking about pro wrestling games, which is exactly what we're going to be doing today because SummerSlam is coming up this weekend on a Saturday, which is very weird, and then the NXT TakeOver is coming on a Sunday, so I guess they know how to finish off the weekend with the best show. But SummerSlam is going to be happening on Saturday, like I said. I'm not really going to be watching it. I don't really watch main WWE anymore. But there is one big thing happening at SummerSlam, possibly, or something that's involved with SummerSlam that I am very much looking forward to, and that is the involvement and the inclusion of WWE 2K22. It was announced a while ago once SummerSlam advertising started going up that SummerSlam would be advertised and sponsored by WWE 2K22, the next game to be coming in the WWE 2K franchise. And a lot of people were wondering, what exactly is next for 2K to show us for this game? We've had one trailer, one official trailer for this game, and it was mostly live action, and there was only like a few shots of actual gameplay, and in that gameplay we got Rey Mysterio hitting a 619 on Cesaro, and it looked great, but as a lot of people pointed out with that clip, it kind of just looks like something that you could easily make in like WWE 2K19. I'm not going to say 2K20 because I feel like the game would glitch out if you tried it in there. But with SummerSlam coming up and WWE 2K still not announcing anything new, it's making me wonder if something big is being planned for SummerSlam. And I wanted to take a look at these notes that WWE and Michael Cole did like back in July on SmackDown. They did like an ad read for WWE 2K22 when talking about SummerSlam, and Michael Cole describes the game as a rebuilt engine, smoother controls, better gameplay, and all your favorite superstars and legends, in brackets, that weren't released by the company. But no, seriously, there is quite some interesting words used here. Rebuilt engine, obviously probably meaning that 2K were able to rebuild the type of engine that Yuke's used on 2K19, which is why 2K19 ran so smoothly and why 2K20 did not. It's because when Yuke's left, they kind of took all the stuff that worked on 2K19 with them, so when Visual Concepts at 2K had to take over, they didn't have all the hardware to make 2K20 run as smooth as 2K19, which is why we got all the glitches and stuff like that, and which is why so many people were turned off of it so quickly. Smoother controls, I'm excited to hear this. I really hope this means they're going back to the old controls. I do not... One of the biggest things that I do not get about 2K20 was, why did you change the controls? They made the reversal button triangle! And they made finisher buttons like two buttons you gotta mash together, and then if you got like a top row backwards finisher or something, it was just a lot of random buttons switched around, seemingly just for the purpose of switching them around. 2K19's controls were great. There was nothing wrong with them, and I really hope that's what this means when it says smoother controls. They should have just said like returning controls. If we don't get the 2K19 controls back, which I don't get why, if there's such a demand for them, if we don't get those ones, despite whatever controller settings we get, I do hope that they have a feature included that is controller configuration, which basically means you can go through any controller setting and you can pick and match what button does what on your controller. If you're a Steam player, you obviously know controller configuration. So if we don't like the controls, then we can manually go in and select, like, triangle is for finishers, R2 is for reversal or whatever. I hope that's what smoother controls means, is that either the good controls from 2K19 are returning, or we're at least getting the option for controller configuration. Better gameplay seemingly basically means like no glitches, stuff like that, you know, smoother gameplay, stuff like that. I wonder if they might bring back something like Predator technology from WWE 12, because that was very fun. I always thought that was very interesting stuff to work with. And all of your favorite superstars and legends. This I wanted to bring up because I feel like part of the reason why 2K haven't been showing off a lot of stuff for 2K22 is because of all of the recent like releases this year, because I feel like a lot of that talent that got released was probably already scanned for the game. Like normally we've heard in the past like scans for the game either come around the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania time, and a lot of the people that were around during the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania time they're now gone from the company. Buddy Murphy, the Iconics, Ruby Riott, Bray Wyatt, Ric Flair, who we saw get scanned for 2K22. It was in like a behind-the-scenes video where they show Ric Flair getting scanned. The same with Booker T. So maybe the reason why they haven't been showing stuff in the past is because of all these releases, and they have all this footage of released stars that now 2K and the WWE have to work through. Maybe some sort of contract clause says that they can still be in the game, or maybe they can opt out for not being in the game, meaning they have to be patched out of the game. There's just a lot of superstars and a lot of legends that, if true, they have to take out of the game if they don't want to be in the game, or they can't be in the game and stuff like that. And I'm sure it's a very big headache on the part of 2K, because they want 2K22 to be this game, this redemption story, and meanwhile you have like these big headaches of like, we're trying to make this work, we're trying to be transparent with the fans, we're trying to give them as much information as possible so that they know that this is going to be a good game. But this is even worse than last time with 2K20's like whole advertising scheme, where like they didn't really show anything, and then like within like the last month or two they dropped all this stuff like, boom, here's this, boom, here's this, boom, here's this, boom, here's this. Okay, game's out, game sucks, doesn't matter, on to the next thing, 2K Battlegrounds. I feel like they're in a similar situation here, where all this stuff is going on behind the scenes that's messing with their heads, and they're just trying to put together this good will with the fans that seemingly they've been building up. I mean, they've done a lot of Twitter Q&A stuff, polls and things like that, trying to figure out what the community wants in this next game. And there's just a lot of stuff behind the scenes that is being changed. I mean, who knows? Maybe even the cover star has to be changed. Maybe that's why they didn't even have a cover star locked in. Maybe Bray Wyatt was supposed... Could you imagine if Bray Wyatt was supposed to be the cover star for 2K22, and then he gets released? This is just a bunch of crazy stuff that has been going on in WWE for this past year, and it is affecting 2K22. But my predictions. I'm predicting what is going to happen with 2K at SummerSlam. Prediction number 1, I feel like we're going to get a release date at least. Like... It would be insane if we don't get a release date. Like, it seems like, I feel like it's going to come out in either August or October, something like that. October seems like a pretty safe bet of a date. Who knows? We'll have to see. But I feel like we're going to get a release date. I feel like we're going to get a cover star. So who knows? I would assume, safe bet, Roman Reigns. I know he was on the cover of 2K20, but honestly, I feel like a lot of us want to forget about that. And we've seen repeat cover stars before, so I wouldn't be really bummed out to see him on the cover again, especially if it's like... the last Roman Reigns was a very different Roman Reigns than the Tribal Chief one we have now. So that's a safe bet. Personal choice, I would like to see them do away with the whole one cover star thing. I just want to see an amalgamation of like a bunch of different stars. You know, take the biggest stars from WWE and all put them on there, you know. Or maybe just do like one star from each brand. So you have Raw, SmackDown, and NXT all represented on there. So who knows? We'll have to see how that pans out. I feel like we're going to get some announcements in terms of roster. Who's going to be actually on the game. I feel like maybe that's when the roster reveal will start, is at SummerSlam. And then a trailer. I feel like we should get a full gameplay trailer, because the little tidbit with Rey Mysterio and Cesaro is not going to convince anybody to buy this game thus far. I feel like if you're going to convince people to buy this game, you need to show them more gameplay. One of the key lines in this SummerSlam ad read was better gameplay. If you cannot prove to us that there is better gameplay by showing us the gameplay, then don't be surprised when people don't pre-order this, or don't be surprised when people don't want to buy this. But who knows? Maybe with COVID and stuff like that, maybe the game has been pushed. Maybe 2K22 isn't going to be coming out until 2022. And I'm not meaning like October 2022. I'm thinking maybe like January 2022. But with games like this, you want to try and get them out before the holiday season so people buy them for Christmas and stuff like that. So who knows? Yeah, 2K22, it's going to be interesting what they show at SummerSlam. And like I said, I'm predicting release date, cover star, roster reveals, and a trailer. That's what I'm expecting, or predicting from SummerSlam. So, for those of you that are going to be watching SummerSlam for the matches, have fun. But the main reason I'm going to be keeping my eyes on SummerSlam is I want to see what is coming with WWE 2K22. I want to know what's next, and I want to know if it truly is going to hit different.